As I attempt to move my mic closer to my face. Hello, good evening, everybody. Welcome to RFL's 250th race here at the home of Formula One. Rather ironically, we saw Max Verstappen take pole position earlier today. Not only have we got your standard helping of a 80-minute qualifying session and then a half distance race, I think that's about 26 laps, I think. We've also got a 35% race coming your way just before that, going the other way around. Yeah. So that is going to be absolutely brilliant. I've not done a reverse race in terms of commentary, so this is going to be a first for me. It's a first for RFL, and it's a first, I think, on the International Paddock channel where we have any involvement from a reverse race. So this is going to be exciting. This is round 2. Let's not talk about the championship because it's only round 2 of 12. So there's still a lot to be decided. But the question is James going to be able to get that third championship, I believe? Again, I wonder. James? Yes. Yes, it is Lord James. One season 12, one season 13. Tom Gorian won towards the back end of F1 23. Because RFL does 2 seasons per game. So could be quite interesting. 15 I think, or did it jump up since I last thingy? 15. Okay, so it's 15, and it is reverse championship order. So basically the reverse results from the first race. Again, I'm not going to talk about the championship too much because again, it is just round 1. Let me re-emphasize that. So, but you know, it's reverse Silverstone, so this could get interesting. Again, like I said, I've not done a reverse race in terms of commentary. I've not seen one. This is the first of quite a few that are coming up your way. I know ERC have got a Zandvoort race towards the back end of their season. Towards the back end of the year, you've got reverse sprint at Zandvoort as well with ERC. So, you know, this could get quite interesting. We're getting ready to go at 10 past. So, what, a minute and a half? Somewhere around about that. So we should be going in 2 minutes, 1 minute, something like that. Where's my clock app? So I can see. Well, it's just ticked to 09. World clock. There we go. It's 20:09:07 here in the UK in London. So we'll see. We shall see. Should be getting ready in a couple of moments time. If you haven't already, do follow, do subscribe as well on socials at international underscore paddock. TikTok at International Pad PADD. Should be getting ready to go in a couple of moments time. The rest of the calendar itself is looking quite funky. If I can find the actual file, there it is. 12 races. Like I said, start at Austria. Then we go to, we're here. Then we go to Brazil. Week's break. Spa, Bahrain, Qatar. Then another week's break. Australia, Zandvoort, and Monza, another week's break, and then Baku, Japan, and we'll finish off the season in Singapore, which does usually do quite well in terms of racing, at least from previous experience. So could be quite interesting. As we approach the start time, we should be getting ready to go in a couple of moments' time. There should be a formation lap, I think. I hope. Yeah, Tom Gorian saying let's go. So we'll be going in less than 30 seconds. And I see the man on the right just standing there and kicking his feet about. He's the only person that's actually moving. Now that I say that, everybody else is. Because, well, sod's law. Whatever I say basically gets completely disproven. Formation lap underway. As I bring up, hopefully, are you going to work? Or are you not? Hi, Jetin. Hi, Cal. Okay, right. SimHub has decided to slow down. Perfect. Into Stowe. There is a DRS zone here before they swing it into Chapel. The other DRS zone isn't on the Wellington Straight. It's out of Copse towards Luffield. I think it's because if you were to turn into the loop, into Aintree and brake for the loop with DRS on, your car would probably spin out like a madman possessed. But I think that's the reasoning behind that, at least. Can I have that on in the background? I can. I'm gonna pause that. Bosh. Awesome. Okay. It is 35%, so I think about 15 or so laps. I'm not 100% sure. As again, so this is the reverse results of the race from last week in Austria. Right, so Polytromp, I'm guessing either finished last or didn't come to the race. And so he's starting in first place. In terms of the tyre situation, it's a mix between mediums and soft. And again, it's a 35% race. That's not particularly a surprise. Going soft medium or medium soft tends to be the better run around for strategy. A couple of drivers have... Have they? No, they haven't. Okay, so it's just the game acting up a little bit as we approach the start time. As I full screen this. Actually, let me non-full screen this. Shut that. Open that up. There we go. So that I've got full view of the behind the scenes bits and bobs. Are we going to have a good view for the start? That's not too bad. Right. First reverse race of the season. As here we go. 15 drivers coming into Club Corner. This could get quite spicy. 13 laps ahead of the drivers. Lights are on. It took a little bit of time, but they're out already. Looks to be a good start there from the Ferrari in the background of Lord James. Craig picks up a position. Into Club we go. 2 wide, 3 wide, 4 wide. Coming into there. The Red Bull and the Williams making the most of it with Cam and Cal. Don't get those names confused as we swing through Vale. I think that's Azza, who's lost quite a few positions. Haas on the grass out of the exit of Club as it's 2, 3 wide. Further behind, Lord James leads the packs side by side with Dave and Tom. As they come now onto the Hangar Straight. Yes, the Hangar Straight, not the Wellington Straight, because we're going the other way around. Tom Gurian, Angry Dave, and who is that? That is Danny going 3 wide into Chapel Corner. And then through Beckett's, and then Maggers. This could take a little while to get used to. You'll have to bear with. Polytrop's already got a 2.5 of an advantage ahead of the rest of the pack as we go 2 wide into Copse Corner. Dave trying to hold the inside line. That's not going to work. Pushes Azza onto the grass. Now Azza trying to pick up the move inside through Woodcote. Now into Luffield. Contacts between the pair of them. Bit of bad blood already here on lap 1. Jayton now trying to go up the inside. Maybe a bit of contact there as well. Again from Dave as he tries to minimise his drop. As into Adrian, into the loop goes LTK Terrier. Inside of 4, into 3. Yes, I'm just going to do numbers the wrong way around. And now flat through Farm Abbey curves towards Club Corner. We're on board with the RB. And it's 2.3 seconds already from Polytron. Fastest lap from the man. As I know what's happened behind the scenes here. Oh, for Christ's sake, I forgot to take the numbers. That's fun. Okay, right. I'm going to try and maybe restart that in between race and quali. For the, in between this and the quali for the main race. Jayton already in the pit lane. Off the softs, onto the mediums with a fresh front wing as well. Bit of front wing damage as well for Angry Dave. As Jayton comes out through the turn and then out. It's a long pit run through here, and now we can put the foot to the floor and get ahead. Okay, Terrier gets past through Woodcote, now into Luffield. Actually, let's put the track map on. so that we can see what's going on. Sector splits are largely in the same places, I believe. They seem to be, so we can see the sector time getting quite close. Vibes and Craig. Vibes going down the inside into the loop. Now into Village Corner. It's a tight left-hander. Is Vibes going to have the advantage, pardon me? Yes, he's still just about. And now it's flat to the floor here through Farm Curve. And that long inside line gives him the advantage in the position. Going into Abbey Corner. Now careful for the Tarrier behind. You swing it into Club and now into Vale. Wide goes Craig coming through into the chicane, but he manages to make it without too much of an issue. A couple of corner cuts already coming through, but no penalties as yet. Into Stowe, looking for a move is Tarrier. Does he go down the inside? Yes, he does. Not maybe the best opportunity for him to do that, because now he's got to try and get past through the straight, and he just about does that on the approach into Chapel. Craig looks for a position, looked for a place to pick up a position, but couldn't quite manage it, so he has to drop down to 4th place, and now it's KLB behind and into Cops. We go turn 9 here, going the right way around, turn 10 the other way. Onto the grass though goes, I think that's KLB, Lord James and Tom Gorian also not very far behind, neither is Cam. Verstappen 75, Danny and the rest of the pack all sort of still stringing along in this big train that goes all the way down to Azza in 12th place. As we go onto the Wellington straight, as almost round goes Tarrier, saves the car just about. This is Yellows in the second sector, but they're all cleared. He has to stay out of the way. Now gets up to racing speed, but lost quite a lot of position there. Has the Tarrier. And now into Village Corner. Up the inside goes Danny on Cam. Switchback for the Red Bull on the cards here. But no, can't quite get ahead. Bit of a missed opportunity there. For Cam, and now Lord James on the inside through Abbey. Surely not. It's a much tighter corner than you expect coming through there. And here comes Lord James on the outside of Club. Can he hold that outside line and get the position with a bit of contact? Yes, he does. And through goes Tarrier on the pair of them almost. Oof, lovely stuff there. From the RB, Lord James had KLB as well. So battle for 4th raging on as Vibes pulls ahead, and actually he's pulling in Polytromp a little bit, sort of reeling him in like it's a fish underwater. And now through into the S's here at the bottom of the circuit on board with Cam in 10th place. He's got Azza right behind it. Perfect opportunity for a move as Danny gets overtaken ahead of Cops by Angelo. Keeps it just about on the track as well. He's going to have DRS. Is Angelo pull away? Will Tarrier be able to make the move? No, he can't. Not into here. Sector 2 Yellows, but they've been cleared possibly a bit for Cal as he's had a bit of a spin. Or at least it seems to have gone a little bit slower. Tarrier looking for the outside, the open as the Yellows for Sector 2. KLB has had a spin there on the exit of Brooklands. Into Aintree we go. Does Tarrier go for a move again? Yes, he does. Heavy braking. Down the inside, contact, and around goes Tom Gorian. Tarrier involved in that incident as well. A lot of stuff going on here. This is lap 4 of 13, mind you. We've still got 10 laps. And then add another 20 odd for the main race. Yes, we've still got a lot to go here. So, you know, this could get spicy. This could get spicy. 9 to go here. As these guys cross the line, Polytron's expanded the gap a little bit to 3.3 seconds. Lord James behind by 2.5 seconds. Anybody got damage? Tarrier's got a bit of damage. Davey's got a bit of damage as well. As we come through into the S, we've got coming to a little bit of a lull at the moment, but there's still plenty of battles that are set to come. One of which is battle for 7th here. Cam and Azza having at it, coming into Cops corner here. DRS zone out of Cops, possibly a little bit on the off track. He picks up a penalty warning for that one. Davey picks up the first track limits penalty of the night, as there's no move through into Luffield. Exit of Brooklands as we go down the Wellington straight under the bridge towards Aintree. Any move there from Azza? Not quite, no. As we break for the loop, slowest corner on the circuit. And then go to the other side for Village Corner. And then it is up to the floor again through Abbey. Through Farm, through Abbey, pop the telemetry on. Do we see another move into Club? We've seen one or two already down the inside. He's going to look for a move down the inside. The outside tends to be the better move through Club, as you can really send a little bit more speed through there. And it worked for Cam as he comes through. And a contact with Tom Gorian as he goes for a late move. Coming into Vale Chicane. I didn't quite see the move, but he went over the curb. So I'm going to hold my decision until maybe the stewards have a look at it, because I reckon it might be worth them doing exactly that. Thankfully, Azza hasn't picked up any damage off that, so it's no major issue. Still unfortunate either way. Tarrier could be going for a move on Azza, but doesn't go for it. Azza, though, does go wider. That gives him the opportunity to get past does Tarrier. So Tarrier making up quite a lot of moves there. As off track goes, that's Tom Gorian. I think he has gone off track there. I wouldn't imagine that's intentional. As RB versus Red Bull, Tarrier versus Cam. And Tarrier's got that DRS, and he's going to... Actually, there's no DRS. I'm used to saying there's DRS down the Wellington Straight. There isn't in reverse. So there is that. As there's this little 4-car pack coming through. As Angelo, first man to pit properly, as such. The pit lane is downhill as well, so it makes it a little bit awkward coming in. As Ferrari make their stop, and without much of an issue comes out. Angelo comes in also. Danny, Cam, Tom Gorian, and KLB as Davey picks up a 3-second penalty for cutting a corner. But again, remember, the 3-second penalties cannot be served mid-race. They have to be served afterwards. Pardon me. As to the throttle we go. Angelo put it on softs. For the remaining half of this race. Is he going to be able to use that advantage he gets from the softs to maybe pick up a couple of positions if he can get close? I wonder. Vibes and Lord James fighting, well, getting close to each other through Woodcote and Brooklands. Sorry, Lovefield and Brooklands, actually. Now here comes Lord James. This straight can be a good opportunity. But again, can't quite manage to pull it off, braking for the loop. Picks up a little bit of time there as well. Gets closer. Loses some through the change of direction into Village Corner. Through into the pit lane goes Vibes. And 10 seconds, there we go. We said, I mean, we sort of said it was going to happen. And 2 people have just picked up track limits penalties for it. So, again, not to be commentators cursed, 3 actually, but it's a downhill pit lane entry. So, it is going to make things more awkward and more difficult for drivers coming into the pit lane, which really does suck, unfortunately, for these guys as they come through. Angelo's ahead of Azza. Is Angelo going to be ahead of Vibes, though? He probably is. Let's go on board. Can we go on board with Vibes? I hope that we can. Gap isn't that big, I don't think. There's 2 seconds. It's not too bad. I think Angelo has picked up maybe 1 or 2 positions there with that. There's going to be mediums versus softs, and you think within a couple of laps the softs are going to catch up. However, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Into Cops we go. Everybody sort of strung themselves out other than these pair. Let me pop over here. This trio actually has got Tom Gorian, Jatin and Cam here into Cops corner. Does Tom Gorian go for it? Yes, he does. Tries to hold that inside line. He's going to carry a little bit less speed, but now Cam is Jatin going to be able to make a move. He's closing off that inside line. Is Tom Gorian inside of Woodcote? Lovefield, sorry, not quite. Not an opportunity there as Tarrier picks up 10 for speeding in the pit lane. Like we said, it's pretty likely just because of how really weirdly awkward that pit lane entry is. Tarrier picks up, actually, decided to retire in the pit lane. More people coming in as Vibes is going to come through. It's side by side here. A little further back, Cam and Jatin going too wide. Now the question is, where's Vibes going to come out in relation to this pack? There's Polytromp. There's James. Where's Vibes going to come out? The Ferrari's going to go side by side. Not quite. Very, very close to it, though. But Warmatize, you'd think, should have an advantage through Stowe into Chapel. Angelo closing in. Does he go on his teammate? No, he doesn't. Thinks better of it into Chapel and Beckett's. And then through this right-hander here. Left, and then Maggots the right. Weird calling Maggots a right-hander. I'll be honest, I can't get used to it. More track limits warnings coming through for a couple of people as side-by-side do the two Ferraris go off. Almost. Just about saves the car, does Angelo. There, car. We go on board with Angelo. Can he close to his teammate once again? Almost, very, very almost lost the car there completely. Through Woodcote into Luffield. That was extremely close to being worse than it could have been. As Angelo does get past Vibes, Lord James gets past Vibes. Does Angelo do the same? We've just seen that he can, and now they're catching up to Polytromp. They've got 4 laps to do it in, if they want to take the win to do the Ferraris. Right. 4 laps left. Is anything going to happen with this top lot, I wonder? Are they going to be able to catch up to Polytromp? He absolutely pulled away at the very start. And I wouldn't be surprised if the same was to happen again. As Angelo dives into Cops. Yellers in the first sector. Maybe a bit of contact between Daisy P and KLB. But we seem to be okay. More corner cuts from Cam. As we send it now on board. Let's go on board with Lord James. See how fast he's going down here. 190, 191 briefly hit into Aintree and then the Loop and Village. He's caught up, to be fair. Angelo's been dropped a little bit. Opportunity, maybe not into the S's, but possibly down into Woodcote and Luffield could be an option, depending how much he closes in. But Polytromp's already opened the gap to just outside of DRS. DRS detection, by the way, is on the exit of Maggots and on entry into Stowe as well, by the way, for the record, for public knowledge. I think it's probably the best way to put it, but Lord James can't quite pull in and get close to the back end of Polytromp just yet. Azza and Cal are also getting semi-close to each other. They're within about 8/10. I can't see much happening as actually they go down the hangar straight. As Polytromp has opened the gap up to 2 seconds, so it's not going to happen this time around, but there's still 2.5 tours of the track left to go. So who knows? Maybe we'll see some last-minute stuff. Davey P picks up 3 for track limits. Davey is in 12th place. He's currently on 9. He picked up 2 for track limits and 1 for corner cutting, which is a different penalty because the track limits violations are just sort of you're rolling, you go out of track limits just in general, and you gain a little bit of time, but then corner cutting is when you just straight up cut a corner. As Polytromp does go with another fastest lap with a 27.977. Through Vale we go for penultimate time this way around. Because yes, this is just a sprint, right? We've got more coming. That damage on the Ferrari. Yeah, that's a bit of damage. The end plate's gone. for Lord James. Oh, why is it not showing up on there? Sorry, I got my own screen with thingy. With you know how you see those commentators with that screen that says, "Oh, lap times" and all that sort of stuff. I've basically got my own rendition of that. But the damage should show up, but it hasn't. Really irritating me. Battle for 9th. As Azza and Cal are trying to close in, and Cal going for a move on Azza. As we've got DRS now down this back straight here through Woodcote. Cal making a lovely move. On the inside of Woodcote into Luffield. KLB picks up 3 for track limits. As we've just started the final lap for Polytromp. I don't think James is going to catch up here. Regrettably. For him. So these guys come through Village Corner. Is Azza going to be able to make an opportunity through Club? We've seen 1 or 2 overtaking spots be used into Club Corner. Question is it going to happen this time around? Through Club into Vale for the final time for these guys. Azza actually goes wide, very wide. As there's contact. There's contact! And KLB's had a bit of a spin. Has he picked up damage? No, he hasn't, apparently. But that is unfortunate, and I might have been helped to that section of track. We didn't see his back end goes wide. I think he's picked up rear wing damage off of that, because that is very unstable. Yeah, he's DNF'd on track, but everybody's passed, so I don't imagine that's going to be as big of an issue. Polytromp led off the start and has just held the foot on the gas pedal. There was no catching him, even though for a brief moment we thought there might be. Polytromp wins the reverse sprint here in Silverstone. Lord James and Angelo complete the podium, as we've got the rest of the field coming through in what was actually a really, really entertaining race here. Danny takes 4th place. Tom Gorey in 5th. We've got penalties for the speeding in the pit lane. Vibes by 0.08. Missed out on a top 5 finish. Craig 7th, Jack in 8th, Cal 9th, Verstappen 10th, Azza 11th. And then Davey 12th and Harry in 13th. We haven't spoken much about Harry, but he's here. He is alive. That's not no need to worry. Can Harry catch up a little bit to get the fine, get a position up on penalties? No, unfortunately not. Thirteenth place there for Harry. As race winner Polytromp, fastest lap pool also goes to Polytromp. Danny, driver of the race, apparently most overtaken by Jatin. Polytromp, cleanest driver as well. Not a bad race overall. Can't really complain to that one. What's going to happen now is we're going to quickly go into the lobby, I believe, and then, pardon me, we should be going to a normal qualifying session in just a couple of minutes time. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a sec. And we're back. Second time around because I forgot I accidentally muted my mic here on OBS. We're back. Wait, I just need to check something. I have got it set like that. Okay. For those that don't know, I have that Yeti USB mic. And it has two buttons at the bottom which can sort of change from which direction it gets its source from. And I was worried that I'd pressed it by accident, but I hadn't, thankfully. Right. Woo! Well, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. If anybody's heard that song, it's an absolute banger, is it not? And I'm not having anybody tell me otherwise. My word. Right. Qualifying. So, what's happening now is this is qualifying for the main race. We didn't have quali for the sprint because we had the grid based on reverse championship order. Now we've just got standard, typical, bog standard qualifying. Tracks the right way round. Everything is grand. I've realised I forgot to do something. Thoughts on the Mercedes hitting the McLaren? I'm trying to remember. Is that something that happened in the actual race? As in actual thingy. I haven't. I'm trying to remember. Did it happen in here? I don't think it did, and I haven't watched quali yet, which is my aim to watch in a little bit once this is done. I can't quite remember. But if it's a Mercedes hitting a McLaren, I'm going to say screw the Mercedes because I'm a McLaren fan. Right, let's not let my biases get too far into this. Right, on board with Vibes, pop the telemetry on. And we'll see what happens with Vibes as he comes out across. Coming into turn one, Abbey corner, flat through it. You lose a little bit of speed. Again, flat through farm. First braking zone into Village corner, turn 3. Go to the other side of the track. Hit turn 4. DRS zone 1 is coming up now. And this is where it all can get quite feisty up through this coming section here. Pardon me. Into Brooklands turn 6. Woodcote, Luffield turn 7. Go wide, cut back, and on the gas. Up to the 4. Again, we had a DRS zone down here. That's been removed. Because, again, it's moved back to the Wellington straight for the race the right way around. Turn 9 at Cops. You're going flat in an F1 car. Maybe a drop a gear. I haven't raced around here yet, but I typically do. Through Maggots, Beckett's, right, left, and then right and left again. And then hanger straight. This is where you pick up the most speed. 202, 203. Briefly as the back end goes loose. Coming into Stoke corner. Heavy braking zone. Really fast corner. And then braking for 16 and 17. Vale chicane. And then club corner. Turn 18. And across the line he comes. Vibes goes 27, 7, 8, 6. But I imagine those times are going to come tumbling down. Polytron. He's on a lap now coming through Vale chicane, but he's invalidated his lap, as has Cam Burney, but he's come into the pit lane as Verstappen. Tarrier goes fastest for the time being. We look with Tom Gorian as Danny puts in another fastest lap. Tom Gorian coming through the S's. Is that Cal coming through? Yes, he is. Cal up to... where's he going to go? To 4th place, 6th at the moment. Lord James fastest first, fastest middle, fastest final sector, not quite. with Lord James going fastest by just over 0.2 of a second. Nobody quite on fastest lap times as yet, but KLB on a lap time is all not doing too badly. Goes to 5th place, as well as Azza as well. A lot of Az. Here, 5th place, not bad for the McLaren. Craig almost hitting track limits there, coming through 27.9 through the first sector. That seems to be on pace with what most people are getting at the moment. Yells in the second and third sectors. It's just for drivers getting in and out of the way of each other. Craig 104 with 36.1 after the second sector. It's not too bad. All things considered, sort of on pace. I imagine maybe mid-pack as it stands, maybe towards the upper echelon. You can see him go to 4th place as he goes over the curbs through the Vale chicane and out through Club onto the start-finish line. 6th place for Craig, slap bang in the middle, not too bad there. Tom Gorian going again. Polytron invalidating his laps, but he's in the pit lane. Cam Burney on an out lap. Jatin as well on a lap. He's not very far behind Tom Gorian, who we're looking on with 27.6. That's just a 10th off Lord James's fastest first sector. Second sector, again, about 0.2 off Lord James through that second sector, so he's not all that far off. Pole position, see what you can make through the final section. Yaz in the third sector might be for somebody in the way behind Tom Gorian. Target to beat for fastest third sector is 23.8 as Tom Gorian comes across the line into 27.3, putting a 24.0. So again, just that 10th or 2 off through each sector, but it's a lot of time, all things considered. Sauber starting another lap. That'll be KLB who's come across the line. Tom Gorian getting a little bit feisty and having to get out of the way. Anybody on a lap as it stands? Not as yet, I think. Is KLB going for another one? 33.5. Actually, that was another down lap. He's just over a 10th up on his personal best. 27.7 through that first sector. Apparently fastest according to the game. I think it's fastest for him is what they mean. Across Luffield through into Copse Corner. Send it in. Keeps it within track limits. Nicely held. I was worried that was not going to be track limits. We've got a couple more people coming out with 10:35 left on the clock. As he's evens on his personal best. Faster through the first. Slower through the second by exactly the same amount. So he's evens overall. And he's coming into the pit lane. Not a good enough lap for his own standards. Ferrari's out on track. Angelo coming through into the first sector. Yellow flags. Not yellow flags, DRS zone. No yellow flags as yet, thankfully. As we're going through 27.5. 5.5, so only marginally behind his teammate. Does look like it could be the Ferrari show here. Through Copse we go, on board into the S's. Look how the car goes. Drop it down to about 5th gear. Through and then exit through Chapel. 103.3 overall. It's 35.7, so about 0.2 down on his teammate across the board. Could be a front row time here, definitely a front 2 rows time, more so than anything. Just through 16 and 17 we go for Angelo's lap time. Club, we have to hit the line and it goes 27.262. So lost a little bit more time through that final sector, but overall 4th place is not a bad position to be in at all. I believe is that Polytromp on a lap? Yes, it is. It is Polytromp on a lap with the fastest first sector as well. He absolutely ran away with the time ran away with the time and the race in the sprint. See what you can pull through qualifying here. 27.3 fastest first sector, 102.8 after 2 sectors. Not fastest first, but only a couple of hundredths off of the fastest first sector time. 0.016, I think. So marginal difference between the two. Polytron coming in here could do with getting himself an extra little bit of time through the third sector to consolidate. Maybe that pulls into that he could be getting across the line. He goes second, not fast enough. Lost time. Lost a lot of time through that final sector. 26.5 is the theoretical fastest, by the way, if you compile all the fastest first sectors. All the fastest sectors across all of the laps. Can I get an invite? Let me try my best. Invites and requests. I don't think I have you, mate. You might be better off trying to ask Cal or whoever invited you, unfortunately. I don't think I've got you. I'm in. Grand. Okay. Lord James goes fastest. 27.571. Fastest third and fourth sec. This isn't MotoGP. Second and third sectors. Tarrier coming through second sector now. 102.7, so even faster than we saw from Polytron. And I think that's almost the fastest first. 10th difference. That's not too bad. But again, could do with getting a little bit of extra time to maybe get himself on that... well, with this time, he's going to get himself on the front row. Is he going to be able to claim pole position? 26.5 is the time to beat, and he comes across the line, so 26.537. It's only a 0.34 difference. 0.034 difference between the pair of them. So Terry versus Lord James, Angelo, Polytron, and Danny in the mix. Tom Gorian as well. This could be quite an interesting race if they stay close to each other. Angry Dave retired from the session in 14th. Everybody set lap time as it stands with 6:18 still on the clock. As I have a swig of water from my little cup that I have. Everybody's sort of on relatively calm-ish laps. Nothing going as it stands. Cal on a cooldown. KLB, I think, is on a push. Second sector coming through here. Hasn't triggered, but he's slower through the second sector. Is he going to be coming into the pit lane now, I wonder? No, he doesn't. Seems to be getting a better lap time as he comes out. 28.3 is his personal best. Is he going to improve on that? Yes, he does. 28.0. Goes from 12th to 9th place. Nice job there from the Sauber. As we've got 5 minutes left in qualifying. Tarry leads the pack by not very much at all. But Polytron and Lord James, the difference between second and third is quite sizable, all things considered. Danny in fourth, Angelo fifth, Tom Gorian sixth, and those 3-4 guys are really close to each other, within sort of a 10th of one another. And then Vibes, Azza, KLB, Jatin, Cal, Craig, Cam, Angry Dave, who's retired already, and Harry, the slowest of the lot with a 130. But you'd imagine there's more in the tank. From the Hassman, on a lap, well, on an out lap. Three minutes 50 left on the clock. On an out lap. Tom Gorian on an out lap early. I figured he'd wait a little bit until, last couple of moments to get one in. But Lord James is out as well. I think there's a little bit more movement. There's an Aston Martin coming out of the pit lane to start their lap. As we go on board, let's go on board with Cam again. Let's go on board again, this time with Cam. I think it's probably the better way of putting it. You come through into the left. And then left again through Aintree. Down the Wellington Straight. I have been to Silverstone before. On one occasion for a GB3, GB4 event. With a couple of the series. There was a Porsche Cup as well going. It was actually a really fun weekend. I'm not going to lie. If not slightly rushed due to circumstances outside of my control. But it was great fun either way. So, you know, worth going if you can. And the racing wasn't all that bad either. You managed to even get a position in the grandstands as Cam invalidates his lap through the S's. As we've got a whole flurry of people on out laps as Cam, for the sake of it, hits the marker. Respects it. I love it. Find it funny. As who's coming through? Is anybody coming through to finish their lap times? No. Next one up is Tom Gory, but he's all the way through Woodcut. Sends it in to Cops turn 9. Then through the S's we go once again. We go on board with Tom Gory. I'm gonna. Oh. What is this piece of paper that I've got? Oh, it's a delivery. In that. Probably take my address off back first. Just in case. Tom Goyan coming up to finish his lap. Can he improve? Yes, he does. One position, but only just under 2 tenths to 5th place as Polytromp once again gets the fastest first sector by over a 10th. Up on his personal best. See what Polytromp can do. He's got a Haas ahead. Haas of Harry. I don't know if Harry's going to get out of the way. Is he? He might be stuck behind him through the S. He gets off track though, does Harry. Thankfully out of the way. That might have affected things a little bit there for Polytromp. Up to the 2nd sector split here. He's up on his personal best. Not fastest first sector. Needs to make up a lot of time in the final sector though. Because that is where, if you remember, that's where he lost his time. Most of his time. Overall, less than 30 seconds here in qualifying for Jatin and Cal to start their laps. But I think they'll be fine. Both Red Bulls are in the 3rd sector, so is the Williams. Polytromp's up, he ups his time, not his position. Can go again if he wants to, but I don't see it happening. No, he's lifted off, I think, through there. Unfortunate. What about Tarry? He's just started, I think, a lap time. Has he just started one? No, he's coming through. Yeah, he's just started a lap time. Sorry, what I'm seeing is different to what I'm... what on the board here is different to what I'm seeing on here. Confusing, slightly, I know. However. Right, Terrier, is he going to be able to maintain his pole position? Or, I think realistically he is. Yeah, there's nobody else chasing him. The only person that could have done it was Polytromp. These in 4th place. Danny goes up to 3rd. Not bad for Danny. Vibes coming into the S's. Who's actually next to cross the line. Angelo up, but invalidated. So it is actually going to be Vibes coming up now. The next person. Tarrier puts in a PB first sector. 2nd sector split should be coming shortly. We'll keep an eye on it as Vibes has actually slowed down. So he's not happy with his lap time. Slow through the 2nd sector. So that's it really for the fight for pole position. What about... let's have a look at Jatin in 11th. Behind him is Tarrier, but I imagine no Tarrier's going ahead. Jatin goes to 6th place. Not bad there. For the RB 1 and 6. So far for those pair. Cal ahead of this man who goes into the pit lane. Cal goes from 12th to 10th. Starting inside the top 10 is Cal, and that's it. Everybody's crossed the finish or in the pit lane. So Terrier picks up the pole position, Lord James second, Danny third, and Polytromp in fourth place. Not bad. Not a bad qualifying session. And, don't forget, this is Silverstone, and if you're watching the sprint, which you should have been, it's going to be an absolutely cracking race. So, just crossed line in time. Yeah, it was tight, I could see. I didn't want to mention anything about it, but it was tight. But cracking that you got 10th place either way. Well done, Cal. Well done, Cal Baby Cakes. Yes, I did just call Cal Baby Cakes. If anybody's got a problem with that, well, tough. Just waiting for Azza to come in, actually come into the pit lane. When is he going to do that? There we go. Took a little bit of time. Yes, there's Terrier fastest, James second, Danny third, Polytromp in fourth, Tom Gore in fifth, Jat in sixth, Angelo, Vibes, Craig and Cal round off your top 10 there. 26 laps coming your way here in Silverstone. And if the sprint's anything to go by, it's going to be close and it's going to be feisty. Do not go anywhere. You don't want to miss it. And I am going to use this opportunity, actually, to go for a leak. So if you give me 2 minutes, I'll be back in a jiffy. I am back. My hair is a mess, so I've also put a hat on. Because when isn't my hair a mess, to be fair, now that I think about it. Oh, my word. Right. We should be getting going in a couple of minutes' time. It's typically a 5 minutes break. What time are we saying? 21:06. just it's my friend's birthday on Monday, and I've basically essentially told him to faceplant his cake that he's got, because I've seen it and it's good, and I kind of want it despite me not liking cake. Should be getting going in, well, within about a minute's time, give or take. Oh, there's a baby crying outside. Might close the window. Right, everybody's saying let's go racing. So we're getting going racing in, well, within 30 seconds. Right, tyres. That's not the button I wanted to press. Neither is that. There we go. Mediums across the board for the top 10, and then hards below. Other than KLB, who's on a medium. Typically, 50% of races are typically one stop, but depending when safety cars come out and all that jazz, we could be seeing maybe a 2-stop be attempted. But I doubt. But I doubt. But who knows? Who knows? We'll see. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves as we come in. By the way, do send us a follow as well. Masters on Sunday night, tomorrow night with Andrew. They've got season. Oh, I don't actually know what season. I think it's season 16, round 1 in the Masters. Wednesday is round 2 of managers. Friday is round 2 of UCR, which is going to be a banger. It's the Mexico Sprint. And then next week, Cal will be here for round 3 next Sunday. Don't forget as well, GT Racing on Padded Blue on Friday nights with Sam. That's Friday nights, typically at 9 p.m, I do believe. As we're coming up for everybody else to line up now. Harry lagging a little bit behind, but not a complaint in the slightest. But you gotta hurry up a bit. No, I'm joking. I jest. Craig disqualifies himself, but he's gonna start just normally, as there's a lot of drivers just holding the brake button for the sake of holding the brake button, because I can see what buttons they're holding, whether it be throttle, brake, whatever. So it's quite fun. Right, here we go. Look at Lord James, the really attacking line, trying to get on the inside. Off the bat, 26 laps ahead of the lot, and held a little bit shorter, but they're underway, and a great start there from Tarrier. No option for Lord James to get up the inside. Polytron does the same thing though, and Danny trying to go around the outside into P2. Cracking stuff from the Aston Martin. Lord James relegated to 4th, could be going down to 5th place actually, with Tom Gorian trying to move around the outside. Tarrier tries to defend up the inside into the loop. Danny forcing his way up. Polytron now 3 wide. Out of the loop through Aintree onto the Wellington straight, on board with Danny, who's being held right up to the grass. Bit of contact possibly with Tarrier as well, as up the inside tries to go Tarrier, no space at the end, and yet he still manages to find some through before the second apex at Brooklyn. So it is Polytron, Danny and Tarrier that lead the lot, but there's still a lot going on a little bit further back, namely Angelo and Jatin or Jatan, I don't know if that's French or not, having at it. Vibes and Craig battle for 8th place. Vibes go wide. Craig stays on track. He might have that position on the nail, but no, he keeps it. Does Vibes. Azza as well, he doesn't make any positions. Cal's lost a couple. Actually, Azza's made up one position. Cal's lost a couple. Angelo ahead of Tom Goring. Tom Goring, despite the decent start that he had, he's down, relegated to 6th place. Almost looking for that move into 5th place, but thinks better of it. Polytrop again pulls out by a second ahead of the chasing pack. So Danny now, instead of Lord James, trying to catch the man ahead. But we've still got 25 laps to go, so who really knows? DRS is now active, as 33.207 is the new fastest lap set by, pardon me, set by Polytron. Sorry, I had a bit of a burp coming in. And obviously I don't want it to, be broadcast, because I love you all very, very dearly. Fight for 4th on board. Tarrier holding the outside line. Can he make it work? Or is he going to have to give up the ghost? Or not yet? No, the inside through. Woodker trying to force Lord James wide. He's doing exactly that, but on traction. Looks like Lord James is about to have a better run inside through Luffield. Now up to Cox. Who's going to have the bigger balls? Coming into the left right-hander. Oh, they still hold too wide. They're still both on track. Who's going to have it now into Maggots Beckett? Is it Tarrier? No, contact. Round goes Tarrier. Round goes Tarrier. I think as he picked up a bit of damage off that as well. I can't quite tell. But he's plummeting down like a stone. He hasn't picked up any damage, thankfully. That is truly unfortunate. That is truly, genuinely, really unfortunate. A cracking start from Tarrier as well. Unlucky there, but you've still got much more time than in the last race, and with no rain really forecast at the moment. So I think he'll be all right. We'll see. We'll see a comeback. I'm sure of it. Fight for 5th. Tom Gory and Jatin. Vibes. Craig not very far behind either. As they're also looking for that opportunity. That is a lovely red sunset in the background over here. You can just see it through the window, just about. It is, what is it? Almost 9:15. Sunsets are going to be getting earlier now. Not necessarily a good thing. I don't know. Fight as well for 2nd place. Danny still trying to catch to Polytrop. Polytrop doing, well, Danny doing better than in the last race when the rest of the pack tried to catch to Polytrop. Because within 3 laps he had 4 seconds. Now the gap is 1.6. So considerably closer, but again, still not quite close enough to be able to even look for a move. Still needs to close him by about a second before he can even consider it. Through the Vale chicane we go once more. And on to Village Corner. The tyre wear is pretty high, all things considered. I'm looking at, there's only a couple of drivers have got their telemetry on, so I can't quite tell. However, from what I'm seeing, it's relatively high, all things considered, on the medium tyre. So a little bit of a surprise there, although it might be helped with the fact that, there was a formation lap. So a little bit of wear will have also been done on the formation lap. Not loads, but enough to sort of make a little bit of a difference, especially to a softer tyre like the medium compared to the hard. Let's take the time values off. But now, across through the 2nd sector, up to the 3rd. Dave and Cam fight for 13th place. Cam gets ahead. Terrier still in 15th place, not making any moves as yet. In fact, losing ground more so than anything. So maybe the comeback's not on, which would be unfortunate. Look. I shouldn't have been on my desk like that. Oh, here we go, Harry. Looking for the move down the inside. Oh, very close. These pair. This could get quite interesting. I know it's, you know, for 12th and 13th. There's no points involved. However, we do love a good fight nonetheless, even if it is just for the sake of having a fight. Harry looking up the inside. Does he? Oh, no, he doesn't. Try to go for it, but he's going to have DRS this time around. So you'd think that he's going to make a move. He's going to go for it. Is it going to stick, though? Or is Cam going to hold the inside line? 2 races, 2 days for this match. He's racing the UCR race and a bit of contact as well. Forces Harry to give up the fight a little bit. Davey going deep into Luffield. Couldn't quite pull it off. Maybe a better traction from the Aston Martin could close him in. But no, nothing going for that man, unfortunately, as yet. So we'll see maybe something happening a little bit later on. Azza and KLB with Cal going off through Chapel. As we go up towards Stoke Corner, slight rise in the elevation. 13th, Dave does get ahead of Harry. Maybe made a bit of a mistake as Harry's 1.6 seconds down. And now he's closing up to Cam in 12th place, battle for second as well. Lots of sort of DRS trades have formed already quite early with 21 to go here. Which is sort of unfortunate, but hopefully we'll see something come out of these in a little bit. Lap 6 of 26, Polytron still leads. Again, that gap is considerably closer than what we've seen in the sprint. We were seeing sort of a 6-second gap about 6 laps in, and now the gap's down to 2 seconds in comparison. So, you know, credit to Danny and the travelling crew behind for keeping up as close as they are right now. Tom Gorian and Jatin have dropped back from this sort of lead snake, as it were, a little bit. The Ferrari's still getting up close and personal with Danny. As they aim to claim the lead. 7 up, 26, 20 to go here in Silverstone. Of course, the actual race is tomorrow. And with Max Verstappen on pole position, that could be quite a feisty little fight there. So who knows? It depends how much Max is going to try to defend that lead. But I was talking with one of my flatmates before, and I was saying, I'm not as big of a fan of Lewis as a lot of other British people are. But, well, I am Polish, so I do have my other biases. However, if Lewis Hamilton wins number 10, I think that would be the best result for it, the race. Oh, Polytron's made a bit of a mistake here. He's dropped down a bit. I think maybe he's gone wide through Cops. Must have done. As now here's an opportunity for Danny to close it, and Danny takes the lead here in Silverstone. So the move has been made, but now the question is Polytron going to be able to retaliate in any way, shape or form? Don't forget, he's got the Ferraris in the background, as well as Azza as well makes a move on KLB. So both McLarens making gains. Pardon me. As we come through into the Vale chicane. with these guys back to the front. You'd imagine with DRS, again, that the move is easily doable through into yeah, through into Brooklands, but again, doesn't go for it, interestingly. Couldn't think of the word. Tarrier has left the session. I think I have Tarrier. I do not. I thought I did. I thought I did. Oh well. Right, let's see through the S's. Ferrari's still hanging on quite close as well. Tom Gorey not able to really close that gap much more than maybe a 10 here or there. So I don't see Tom Gorey get involved into this up until now, but the gap's been closed up by quite a bit. A lot of weaving there from Danny. Polytron trying to hold the outside through Stowe Corner. Is he going to make that work down towards Vale? The two Ferraris are also getting up close and personal. Polytron holds the inside through the first corner of Vale. Danny uses the contact to force his way around the outside, and through goes one of the Ferraris. On Lord James, almost like a through goes Hamilton a couple of years ago, should you remember. Cracking stuff there. Bit of contacts, not necessarily ideal. But now this has brought Tom Gorian into the mix. Jatin at 1.1 seconds away. He's not all that far off either. Is there a bit of a sunset in game, or is that my screen just being a little bit iffy? I think there is a sunset in game as well. Maybe. That's the sunset I was talking about earlier, by the way, was really, really like a vivid red. It was very, very cool. It's a shame I couldn't go outside and take a picture of it because it's cracking stuff. KLB picks up the second track limits penalty of the main race that we have here. Is Lord James going to be able to close into Danny? No, he's not. Again, the top four have pulled away a little bit from Tom Gorey. It's 0.7 of the gap. Craig now picks up 3 as well, as almost in goes Lord James, trying to sort of fake out maybe the competition. Not quite sure what that was about there. But now Jatin is involved as well, so it's very much a top 6 fight for the lead here. This Cam picks up 3 for track limits. Cam down in 12th place. Isn't really going to affect this lead pack. Another battle to look at is Azza and KLB for 9 and 10. As we come up to Brooklands, turn number 6 around this great and historic circuit. Of course, this is where the first F1 race was, all the way back in 1950, where I believe it was Farina that won the race, I think. So Alpha's actually went 1, 2, 3, and 4, and now Alpha's not even in the sport. Well, they sort of technically were for a little bit, but they're not now. So yes, it's gonna be 16 as they cross the line in about 30 seconds time. And James gonna overtake Danny? No, not this time. Thinking better of it, waiting for a better opportunity. In come 2 of the cars, Polytromp and Lord James dive into the pit lane. Jatin thinks about doing the same, but then doesn't. Or was that Tom Gorian? I think that was maybe Jatin having a little bit of a spin on pit lane entry, which is obviously not ideal. Pardon me. Oh yeah, it's Tag Heuer now. I was going to say it's the Rolex, but no, it's Tag Heuer now. Onto the hards go all of these guys. That have come into the pits just now. Lord James and Polytrop ahead of Cam and Davey behind. Go Jatin and Vibes. Jatin actually jumped Vibes in the pit lane. As a matter of fact. Tarrier not making the comeback that we sort of half expected. And now what do those top guys do? You'd think they have to come in. Basic strategy would suggest so. Good day, Tarrier. You alright, buddy? It was an unfortunate lap one there for you, mate. Hope you're doing okay. Yeah, in comes Angelo and Tom Gurian. Out stays Danny. On his own strategy, it seems. As Jatin retires in the pits, I think. Yes, he's retired in the pit lane. That is truly unfortunate. There's a lot of bouncing around here on the timing sheets here. You lose 25.5 seconds according to the data here on pit lane. And the gap between Danny and James is 23.1. And with Polytrop as well, Trump putting in a fastest first as well with a 28.009. Some pretty speedy stuff on the new hards. All the McLaren, although McLaren 2 and 4, obviously Az has not had his pit stop as yet. Which we do expect at some point. And here he goes. Here we go. Right. We're expecting that you lose 25, just over 25 seconds. So that would put him in and around about, I think, second place. Second, third, maybe. Onto the hards he goes. Right, as has passed, we knew that. That's not a surprise. Question is, where does Lord James and the rest of the pack come through? Right, he's in fourth. He's going to be tight with Angelo, I think. He's going to have to get up to speed. He's going to be very tight with Angelo and the rest of the pack. He's behind Tom Gurian. I don't know if that's paid off there, you know. I don't know if that's going to work out for Danny there, because it's, what, 1, maybe 2 laps of extra percentage? On hards, that's not all that much. But, I don't know. Polytron picks up 3 for track limits. That's a little bit of a surprise. He's got 10 seconds for speed in the pit lane as well, now that I've noticed. So, at this point, I don't see much happening. As Vibes gets past Cam as well. That's up for 7th place. We're about to pass halfway as Polytron retires in the pit lane. Again, unfortunate. Don't know why he couldn't have continued that and gone for more points. He could very easily have done that. But whatever, I suppose. Oh god, he's going to come out on track. Oh god. I hate when this happens. Or not. Oh god! Cam's going to be stuck behind. Oh, no. Oh, now he can move. Oh, God. That's maybe a 5, 6, 7 second gap that could have been mitigated. This is... I didn't even see that in F124. What the hell? That is bad. That's bad from EA. That is another level of bad, honestly. I don't know how we put up with this. I really, really don't. I wish F1 would go with somebody better for a license. Come on. We'll get some competition going. Like I think basketball is going to have some competition soon as well. 2K, and then there's going to be another basketball game coming out as well. So could be quite interesting. That is unfortunate. It's going to see battle for, well, so in air quotation marks, as we've got 10 laps extra on that set of hards. So I don't really see him fighting too much. And with the DRS, he's just going to blast past us, Lord James, and he's going to take the lead here in the race. Again, not a particular surprise. Very much expected. And I can see Azza just coming into the pit lane. Yep. He's used as much as he can of the hards. And now he's going to be able to use the mediums quite heavily coming in to the second half of the race. 12 to go. Tom Gorian picks up 3 for track limits. KLB retires. He's gone wide through Cops. It's the safety car. It's the perfect time for Azza to come in. He's going to pick up a couple of positions to where he could have been. Maybe come out in 7th. I reckon. Actually, once the pit stops cycle through, maybe even higher. I'm thinking about it, if those guys are going to, I imagine, pit as well. Right, so maybe he picks up another 1 or 2 positions on top of that. Now, wouldn't that be entertaining? Maybe not, you know, get straight to first, but maybe go 5th, 4th, or like somewhere in that pack for the lead. I think he'd be quite happy with that. We'll see what happens once the cars come into the pit lane and how it all shakes out. But dependent on all of that, we could see Azza genuinely on strategy in the top 4 sort of things. Not bad at all. Saying here you lose about 10 seconds under pit lane. As right, here comes Lord James. We imagine the 2 Ferraris. Tom Gorian, come on, man. Tom Gorian, you're speeding under safety car in the pit lane. Come on, Chief. Right, where's Azza gonna come out here? This could be quite interesting. Is he going to come out 2nd on genuine pace? Oh my word! That's absolutely worked. You know what? credit where credit is due. I'm sorry, but that's absolutely worked for Azza. And he's in second on genuine pace. And I love it. I absolutely love it. 10 to go. And Azza, I think, has pulled off what could be the best safety car move that he probably could have wished for, really. KLB, wow, I got the corner wrong. Don't know how my wheel went off though. I hardly hit the wall. You'd be surprised. You really would be surprised. I think it sort of just depends on like impact force and then how much like at the angle that you hit it as well. So if you hit it directly, obviously you need a lot more because you hit the front wing first, or from there, right? But if you're hitting it at weird angles where it's the tyre that first hits it, the tyre's going to take the brunt of that force. Braking a suspension link is not difficult. So it could very well be that, but I don't know, and I don't want to say for sure. Lap 18 of 26, Lord James, defending champion, leads the pack from Azza, Danny, Tom Gorian, and Angela, your top 5. Vibes, Craig, Cal, Tarrier, and Cam, because Harris has gone into the pit lane. He's in 12th, and Davey in 11th place. Overall, I'm Casper, happy along with you for this race. I know it's typically Cal, but because it's 250th race and Cal just wanted to race, I said, yeah, sure, why not? But sure, why not? Gave him the opportunity, and you might as well. Why on earth not? Safety car's going to be coming in this time, quite possibly. If not this time, then it will be next time. Again, because of how this game works, safety car's out for 3 lap stops, and safety car start moving at 17. It'll be 17, and then it'll go end of 18 here, or it'll go end of 19 in about 2 or 3 minutes time. So don't go anywhere, because we're going to have a lot of medium runners. Craig, interestingly, on a set of new hards. Tarrier, safety car in this lap. So we're going to have 8 laps of racing once they cross the line. Lord James becomes the factor. Safety car. We come through up the hill, I say hill, up the mound into Stoke Corner. And here we go. When did Lord James go? Typically, some of these people go mid-fail chicane. Are we going to be seeing that again? I think we are. Yeah, he's gone for it already. Right, so Lord James leads the pack as a second. Danny third, and Danny's very close here. We could be seeing a move off the bat already through this first sector. No, not quite, but not very far off. All things considered, into Village Corner. Does he? He's going to die for it. Is he going to make that stick, or is Azza going to hold his own around the outside? Yes, he does. All this is doing, with all due respect to Azza, he's a little bit of a roadblock compared to the guys behind. So Danny will want to get past him as quickly as reasonably possible. Here he goes down the inside into Brooklands. There's sort of, it's a double apex, so you can go wide. Credit to Azza, he's holding his own, not giving away positions as easily as you'd expect a typically slower person to do, and Tom Gorian again forcing his way up the inside, but Tom has 13 seconds worth of penalties, so I don't imagine he's going to be going for the win. Tom Gorian holds the inside through Cops forces as a wide option for Angelo now through the S's, or even before the S's, to make a move. Does he make it? Yes, he does. Picks up a penalty for it, but I think in the long run, that might have been the more effective decision to pick Vibes. Again, stuck behind Azza. No DRS this time. It's going to be activated next time with 7 to go. Vibes holds the inside line through that corner. Azza forces him almost on the grass. Nicely done there by Azza. Credit to the man, because he's not making it easy for the guys behind to make their way through. Will James do fastest 29.335. We can, however, apparently go faster according to telemetry here. It's fastest theoretical, but you take the fastest first second of anybody, fastest second, fastest third as well. But with the 28.899, we can go a good amount faster there as we send it into Brooklands with these guys. Fight for second place. As it stands with 7 to go. I know it says caution. Once we see a yellow flag anywhere else, then it'll disappear. It's an overhang, regrettably, from the last game. Pardon me. Goodness me. I've only got squash in this thing. I don't know why I'm burping so much now. I typically don't. Which is unusual and unexpected, I think, to say the least. Azza under pressure from Vibes, and Vibes makes his way past with no real difficulty. Azza down to 6. By the way, Azza still up 5, starting in 11th place. Credit to him. James 28.919. Again, we can go faster. We've just had quite a few fastest first sectors come in as well. Vibes 24.4, fastest first from Angelo as well. So we can go almost a second faster apparently. Everybody up at the moment other than Tarrier, but that's because of lap 1, regrettably, for him. Because we've got 6 to go here in Silverstone, about 10 or so minutes time. So if you can hold your attention for that long, we'd truly appreciate it. Fight for 9th place to go on board and off track with Cam. Sends it through. Off track goes with Cal ahead. So losing a little bit of time is the Williams and the Scots. US open for Cam as he tries to close in to Cal and Craig ahead, but they can't quite go on with Cal on Craig actually. As a matter of fact, like the 7th overall. And now braking for turns 16, 17 and 18 here. And Vale chicane in good corner. Line 5 to go. Again, yes, it says caution at the top. But believe me, we're not thinking. We're not under safety cult or constant yellow or anything that the side you can see in the bottom there. Back down anyway. So it isn't anything to do with us. It's because EA is being absolutely god-awful. Unfortunately. Go. What's happening a little bit further afield? Danny, that failed overtake on Azza really did cost him because he's quite far down on Lord James with 4 to go. Theoretically, it is possible, but realistically, I regrettably do not see it happen. As much as I would absolutely love for it to, if I'm going to be realistic, I don't know. But of course, I am, you know, happy to be proven wrong in almost all cases. So, you know, feel free to make me look silly, if you so wish, of course. Not that I want to be made look silly, but if you'd like to, I am always got the possibility. Azza on vibes, right here for 6th. Come through down towards Row Corner. Here we go, right, 3 to go. Angelo's dropped back by about 2 seconds. Maybe the tyres are starting to sort of slow down, get a little bit worse for the man. As well as dropped back to about a second. Let's see. Ooh. Day. Don't know. I've got 1 or 2 ideas. I might split it between. As a well, I'm not sure I want. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the last couple of laps. Azza picks up 3 seconds. Now he needs to extend. Does he need to extend the gap? No, he doesn't, because Craig behind has got 3 seconds already. As we go into the penultimate lap now, he's got a little bit quick, hasn't it, since the safety car restart? I know it's a fast track, you know, it's a 1.5-minute lap. I know it's a relatively speedy track, but still, sort of, it's gone pretty quickly, nonetheless. Actually, Tom Gordon's closed up a little bit to Angelo. I don't know if Angelo maybe is struggling on time. Like we sort of, not semi-expect, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Tom Gordon, right. Only 2 more chances, well, 1 more after this. He's closing up a little bit. 1 more chance down the hanger straight and 1 more run down the Wellington as well to pick up a position. I think Stone might be the better option for him, simply because, again, it's the final bit of the lap. So we'll see, as we are now on the final lap. As a matter of fact. quite close enough for a move. Thanks, Baldwin. Right, final run down the Wellington Straight for Tom Gorian. Angelo goes defensive already. Tom Gorian tries to go around the outside. No, he can't again. Angelo returns to that racing line. He knows what Tom Gorian's going to do. I mean, I know they're friends. I know they get on outside of racing, but still, sort of, it's good and refreshing to see the guys are getting along, I think. Let's put it that way. Tom Gorian closing in within a third of a second now. Probably his best option and best chance. He's able to race it. Make the move on Angelo. Well, it's his best because it's his final real option to go for a move. Maybe into Bailey if you're close enough, but again, I don't really imagine that's going to happen on board with Tom Gorian. Closing within 3 tenths, within 2 tenths. Is he going to die for it? No, he doesn't. Too far away. A race that I didn't really see him winning, purely because of Polytromp and how far he managed to leg it in the first round. He's come and got it. Lord James takes the win in the main race. Danny second. And Angelo is going to come and take it without any major issues. He's going to take it. Vibes takes fourth. Azza, I think I am going to give it to Azza for driver of the day. Credit to the man for getting 5th place overall. Especially with that strategy, he's got to have it, surely. Craig 6th, Cal 7th. Tom drops to 8th after picking up all those penalties. Davey P 9th, Cam 10th, and Harry in. Lord James takes the win. Holding the phone, as we see most people do nowadays. And Azza gets driver of the day. Yep, I can't really argue or knock that either. I'm with the game on that one. A great strategy, got him high up. Unfortunately, his own pace was sort of a little bit iffy, but cracking stuff nonetheless. That is it for us here at International Paddock. Be sure to tune in tomorrow. I tried to get to OBS. Can I get to OBS? I hope I can get to OBS. Is SimHub going to work so I can move you out of the way? There we go. Okay. Cool. Thank you very much for watching. Join us tomorrow night for Masters and join us next week away around Interlagos with Cal. Take care, everybody. I will see you soon. Bye-bye.